I'm cool though now. I'm better. I'm back. The week was fine.
Moving right along.
Yeah, moving right along. You know what I'm saying? You showed me something that I looked at um, based on
What is
one of
that?
the avenues that people were trying to use to get this dope 45 out of office.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am no Trump supporter, but I have to admit what you showed me after I read through it. I did some additional looking at it, what it is.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that, bro.
Well,
I don't agree with that. I mean, he's not he doesn't seem to be the greatest person. He's definitely biased. In his position of power, we can say
yeah.
racist, but a person without that power, it would just be bigotry. But he is biased, and even with all that, I'm not willing to use uh any extra sidebar caliber of fuckery to remove a motherfucker from position when it's not lawful. It's just extra fucking
Well,
treacherous,
well,
you know?
yeah. Well, let's let the people know what we're talking about.
Well, we're
This
talking
was
about the California. Go ahead.
the California legislation that they are trying to get through to show Donald Trump's taxes, and if he doesn't show his taxes, then he'll be removed from the ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me myself, I don't think that's right for a state to do. I think if they want to
No.
see the taxes, they should make it a federal law, and in that way, it's across the board. You can't just pick and choose because you don't like the man.
Yes.
I don't like
Yes.
the man either. I don't want him currently as our president or going forward as our president. That's just
Right.
my opinion. But
Right.
at the same time, I don't think that's right to do that just for one state. It's got to be done on a federal level for me to get behind it.
Right.
Make
Right.
it so everybody. So my thing is, the next president comes up. Well, if he doesn't want to show his taxes, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
that too. Well, if that's the
Yeah.
case, make it a federal law that all presidents
Yeah.
have to show their. All presidential candidates have to reveal their taxes,
What do you
not
think that? I'm sorry to
willingly.
cut you off. What do you? Go ahead. Finish that up.
Well,
Because
I
I
was
have a
gonna say
question real
not
quick.
willingly, like because right now it's only willingly.
Mm-hmm.
So make it so a federal mandate, and then we don't. This never has to come back up again. You know
Okay. Because then it's just set in stone. It's law. Basically, is what you're saying.
exactly.
Okay. This is my question. Why do you think they're doing that shit? Like, why is that even being proposed? What are your opinion?
Well, when it comes
Enlighten me on that.
Well, when it comes to California, I think it's more of a vendetta thing with California and Donald Trump because, Donald Trump wanted to withhold funding for things because he was deeming California as a sanctuary state. And I think this, it's just a retaliation and get back. He shot first, and they're like, "Oh, nigga, we'll get you back," and now they throwing this up. So to me, it's not real legislation. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
want something. Yeah, we all want to get Trump out, who's not a Trump supporter, but let's write legislation that's going to actually help the state, not just because you don't agree with one thing he's got that he hasn't done. That's my point of view. Do
Yeah.
something,
Okay.
write some real legislation, not just, oh, we're gonna write legislation because if he doesn't show his taxes for the 2020 election, then he won't be on it. Well, that's not
Right.
federally mandated, so make it federal, a federal mandate. Send that through the federal courts and get it done that way. Not
Mm-hmm.
just doing it state at the state level. I mean, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
why I feel about it. It's kind of bullshit legislation.
Yeah. And I agree. As I read it, it was striking me that it was almost like a desperation haul. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't, none of these other horrible things that this guy has displayed seems to usher in any urgency as far as action to get him out of there. So let's start putting anything together to try to make that so. And I'm
Yeah.
not with that. I don't care how much you don't like a motherfucker.
What is it? What's the saying? Like, we gonna throw everything, all the shit on the wall and see which one sticks.
See which one sticks. See, but
And that's kind of what that to me. That's
see,
that's what
here's the
that
danger.
legislation is to me.
Yeah, yeah, me too. And here's the dangerous part about that. If we allow ourselves, much as I was speaking about in the prosperous perspective, see what I was talking about?
Mm-hmm.
If we allow ourselves to be roused, anybody, be you feel you're on the left, you feel you're on the right, whatever it is, You allow yourself to be riled so much based on a bias to where it moves you to an action that's going to turn around and bite you in the ass because said action now applies to you too. If it applies to the person holding the highest office as far as in this country, then what the fuck do you think is going to happen when it trickles down to you?
Yeah.
They don't go get these people of power and elite status as quick as they come get us
Yeah.
at all.
No.
They don't use the same sense of urgency. Look, you told me, I forget what episode on one of our podcasts, that this individual has been accused 20 plus times of some kind of sexual misconduct.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That is
Okay,
correct.
we got R. Kelly. Not we got him, but you know the system is after him.
Yeah. You got the feds pretty
The
much, the
system,
alphabet boys on him, so he's pretty
yeah,
much a
when,
wrap.
when the alphabet's coming, it's a wrap. Yeah, you got Bill Cosby already sitting in a horrible place. For that place is horrible for a young man of size and street stature to go up in. So imagine an old ass man, celebrity that knows nothing about that life. Now I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I still don't know what to believe about the testimonies or however it went on with that man. But you see what I'm saying? How is it that this guy is under the same scrutiny? Hey, Bill Clinton received a fellatio allegedly in office, and why I never been able to understand why the DNA is still on on said fabric. I guess maybe that shit don't wash out like that. Maybe how about maybe that's it?
No,
You
how about
understand?
they just collected it as evidence and preserved it?
How did they know to collect it as evidence? That's what I'm
Because
saying.
she probably gave it up as evidence, or they collected, or she pointed to
That's my point. So there was some kind of
somebody snitched.
extra agenda. Yeah. So are you if he wasn't charged for rape, that means that it was consensual. Are you under the understanding that it was consensual, or have you felt that he did some kind of rape shit?
With Monica Lewinsky, I don't know. I mean,
I'm saying as far as when it came, because I didn't hear anything that was accusing this man of violating somebody.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was afraid of his power and stature because he was the president. I don't know what her angle really is. I mean, I was still a young kid. I was a teenager when that all came out, so I didn't follow it too closely. But from what I understand, she gave him head. He used a cigar and what is it? Diddled her with the cigar for a little bit. Then lit the cigar and lit $100 in the air or something. I don't know.
see the cigar part I was unaware of.
Yeah, some shit. Huh? Some a little diddling with a cigar or some shit. Yeah,
little diddling. Okay.
So I don't. I mean, that's what I don't know if that's factual. Well, I don't know if that part is factual or not. That's what I heard. So again, I was a mid teenager. Wasn't really into politics or really following these fucks that much. So
right. So we're not sure if it was pegged as some form of violation. Yeah. More or less, just
I think it was like moral conduct.
Yeah, moral conduct.
And he lied to the courts that he did anything. Because remember his whole tagline. His whole tagline was, "I did not have sex with that woman," and if that's the case, he didn't, because he didn't actually penetrate her. She just blow jobs, steal jobs.
You a motherfucking asshole. Right. Right.
But anyway.
Yeah, get off that. Yeah, I was gonna say, that you know of as an adult, it's still something that is notorious in the history of American politics that we know of. It has still not been pegged as some sort of forceful violation.
Yeah, that is correct.
It's been pegged of moral misconduct because of being married and the president. Okay, yeah. That's how I've always seen it.
It was a moral thing, and he lied to Congress about it.
Okay, has Donald Trump ever lied to the public in front of TV or anything that you
Donald Trump has lied to TV and the public, but he hasn't lied in the presence of court.
Has he done anything to keep himself from sitting in said court that you would say? Like, has he made moves to keep any investigations or anything from having him actually have to be subpoenaed to court?
I believe so, but they don't want to. At the same time, from my understanding, they don't want to subpoena the president.
So he's above the law.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is
Well,
that,
here's
no,
the
no,
thing.
I'm
Here's
not
the
talking
thing.
about what we say. Hold on. I'm sorry to cut you off, brother, but I'm not talking about what we say. No one's above the law. I'm talking about you as a common citizen, and we use the word citizen loosely, but citizen, uh, tax-paying, working, legitimate person. We're not involved in any
Yeah,
crime,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you feel that he has in any way, because of his power and status, maneuvered to keep himself from sitting in front of a judge that the typical you or me cannot do?
Well, of course.
Okay.
I believe he's fired cabinets, or cabinets have left
Uh-huh.
under his administration that would have
Mm-hmm.
been able to do those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
But I also believe that they're not pushing really so hard because, if I'm not mistaken, the president can pardon himself. I believe it's
Okay,
been
so
done
now that,
before.
oh yeah, yeah, I know our president can pardon himself. That's what I was about. That's kind of what I was building up to.
Yeah,
If
I
a
beat you to
president can
that.
pardon himself, yeah, don't make me call Yayo, okay? Don't make me call Black A, homie. Don't make me have Black A, nigga. We already been put on mute.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We already got put in time out once. This week.
Grind thirsty. Yeah, yes sir. Yo, it's the ugly. I'm about to break it. Man, fuck that. Check it out. Power and momentum. Vocal bullets bring the host to your building. Same time, feed the souls of your children. Closed minds get exposed to the vision. Same time, double-edged sword to the throat of the serpent and kingdom. Kinda hard not to walk in the blues. Hard to walk the avenues.